Governor in national history to be elected twice in my own first term. You know, Charlie is right. A couple years ago, when we were all going around the state urging you to vote for us, there were 5 of us, and there were a lot of folks, maybe some even in this room, who said, gosh, why does everyone in the state want to run for lieutenant governor? Some people even said, what does the lieutenant governor even do? Well, I'm here to tell you that we know at least 800,000 people in the state know exactly what the lieutenant governor does because they signed petitions to recall me. They can't stand that I stand as you do with our great Governor Scott Walker. They can't stand that I spend my days in workforce development and economic development, cold calling businesses from Illinois, getting them to move to Wisconsin. They loathe the fact that I'm the one who organizes the Governor's Small Business Summit, that I'm going to be chairing the new Committee on Minority Unemployment to deal with the battles that Tom Barrett can't simply fight on his own, and that I am the one who chaired the sub-cabinet on workforce investment that developed our wonderful Wisconsin working plan to connect more job seekers to jobs, and that it is our office that stood behind the governor and urged him to declare 2012 the year of the veteran. I was at a veterans listening session the other day, and I met a man named Richard. He was a veteran, but he started off with a really tough life. He didn't grow up in Wisconsin. He actually grew up in the ghetto of Chicago. He had witnessed his first homicide by 9. He had joined a gang by age 14. By the grace of God alone, he had graduated from high school and found his way into the military. That was the high point of Richard's life. When he returned, though, he fell in with the wrong crowd and he committed some crimes. He ended up in jail. His life got worse. Even after he was released, his young daughter got cancer. He moved his family to Madison, where they shuffled between the Ronald McDonald House and hotels and back and forth. And the story eventually turned the other way. See, his daughter started getting better. At the same time, Richard started doing some volunteer service and got himself a job, started working hard. I'm happy to tell you today that that veteran, who's now from Wisconsin, Richard, has a daughter who is cancer-free, is on the dean's list of UW-Whitewater. But what he told me that day at that listening session was that, you know, Rebecca, my friends say that I can't support you and Governor Walker. My old friends, they say that I'm obligated to take the path of least resistance. That's what my destiny is. But I work hard. I believe in myself, and I believe in my American dream. And I said, you know what, Richard? We do too. We in this room believe in Richard. We in this room are the grand old party. We believe in everyone's right to the pursuit of happiness. We don't believe in the right to the pursuit of groupthink or mob rule or redistribution of wealth. We believe in the pursuit of happiness. And so our opponents are mad. They're angry. These are the people who spent their entire winter collecting signatures so they could recall us. And I have said many times that they would get those signatures and they'd get us back on the ballot. But I have also said many times something I will repeat to you tonight. When we go back to the ballot box, you will take it all out at the polling place and we will win. teacher, you elected Scott Walker.
Yeah.
And you elected a team that has stood behind and beside him, that has done great things, so that despite all of what has happened over last year and this winter, despite the naysayers, our opponents, Wisconsin is rising. See, even though we came in with a $3.6 billion budget deficit, the 8th worst budget deficit in the history of this electoral process, this nation, we wiped it out. We did a budget without raising taxes. There is no deficit in Wisconsin today, and Wisconsin is rising. After 5 years, friends, of 5% tax increases, you finally have a tax freeze in the state of Wisconsin, and we are rising. You elected the team that made sure that we are recognizing your Second Amendment rights. You have the right to concealed carry in this state. We have a true castle doctrine in Wisconsin. And after 3 long years of 150,000 jobs lost, we are seeing true job gains here in Wisconsin. The lowest unemployment rate it has been since December of 2008. Wisconsin is rising. Our unemployment rate, friends, is 6.9%. You compare that to our neighbors to the south, Illinois. I get laughs out of that just by saying it. 9.1% down in Illinois. 9.1% unemployment. They raise income taxes 46 and 67%. Moody's has downgraded them so badly they are worse now in their bond rating than California, and that's so tough to do. Despite all this, Governor Pat Quinn of Illinois has said that he is encouraged that only one of the big 3 credit rating agencies downgraded him so badly. That to me is like saying you are encouraged that your child is failing all 3 of his classes, but he only got kicked out of 1. We are thinking now seriously about helping Governor Quinn by adding him to our campaign team. He has provided such wonderful contrasts for the state of Wisconsin because Moody's has rated our budget right here in Wisconsin credit positive. When I was making those cold calls, we had businesses excited about jumping the border. And that's not just to escape the Chicago Bears and go with a team that actually is good. Illinois provides such a stark contrast. Our opponents in Wisconsin understand that we are the ones that plan. They want to take us the direction of Illinois, which is the direction, as Senator Santorum mentioned earlier, of Greece. We can't go the direction of Illinois. We can't go backwards. Voters are going to be given the choice, forward or backward. Our opponents are proponents of the failed policies of the past. We want to move forward. It's our state motto, forward. And despite what they will tell you, bold political courage is in this administration, the administration that you elected, the administration that assured that Wisconsin is rising. And I'll tell you what, our opponents will do everything in their power in order to reclaim our state for their failed policies. But we have twice the guts of our opponents. And I only have half a colon. That's a colon cancer joke. A few months ago, I was speaking at a tech school graduation. And A few months later, I got a letter in the mail from one of the instructors, a nursing instructor, who had talked with me that day, and she said, you know, my life has not turned out how I expected it. She said, even though you survived your colon cancer, my husband died of his. I have 4 adult children, most of whom are dependent on me for their income. Especially the 2 oldest, the one with the postgraduate degree and the one who is a veteran. And I'd like to sell my house, but it's just not worth what it was back when we bought it. See, this recession had hit her like an avalanche. And sometimes it's hard for one person to dig out all by herself. Our message to that woman and to all of you is that we believe in your American dream. And Wisconsin will recover from this recession because Wisconsin is rising. And I have proof. See, we have more manufacturers per capita than any other state in this country. And that's a 2011 figure. In addition, we have ag exports that are up 18%. That's a 2011 figure. See, we may not be who we were before 2008, when this deep recession hit our state. In fact, we will be stronger. We will be better because we are rising. And unlike our opponents, we have a plan for the future. We need to lower taxes in this state to keep our seniors here, to keep our bright college graduates here, and keep our middle-class families here in Wisconsin. We need education that actually puts the children first, and we need to be able to reward our good teachers with merit raises. Some of you may not know this, but about 90% of Wisconsinites are covered by health insurance. But you know how important health care is to me and my family. It is so important that we have a healthier Wisconsin, but we must do it without Obamacare. Friends, we must continue to measure success in workforce development in this administration and well beyond, not by how many people you can get on unemployment, but how many people you can get off unemployment. And we need to do right by our veterans. I told you that 2012 is the year of the veteran. It's important to me. My grandfather was a peacekeeper after World War II in Germany. 10 of my ancestors fought in the American Revolution. I teach my little girls to go up to men and women in uniform and say thank you, because we in our family stand with you, because you have stood for us. Our heroes have protected us for generations, our ability to live our own American dreams, peacefully and safely here at home. We need to make sure that we are providing the opportunity for our returning veterans that they deserve. I told you our unemployment rate, 6.9%. For our returning Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, that number is closer to 13 to 15%. To the governor and to me, that is unacceptable. We must do right by our veterans. But we have to get through this storm. Friends, you know that yesterday our GAB said that there will be an election. And you know already that the head of the State Firefighters Union is running against me. The International Brotherhood of Firefighters has already filed to pour a big spend on Valen Mitchell, my opponent. We need to make sure that we are fighting. Fighting for our Wisconsin, for our children's, for our grandchildren's Wisconsin. I've said many times that if you see danger coming, your children are behind you and you have the ability to see it and protect them, don't you protect them every single time? Let me tell you, friends, the governor and I and